Hello everyone, today I'll be discussing questions 5 and 6 for the grade 8 and under Prairie Math League problems, and that will be round 124. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen here and then I'll get started with the solutions. Okay, looking at the first question, it's basically asking for the area of this quadrilateral. The approach that I would take to this is just using the shoelace theorem. Right, so firstly, we can pretend that this is a coordinate plane. This will be the origin at 0, 0. We'll see that this point would be actually 4, 0. And then this point will be 0, 5. This point will be 4, 3. Actually, no, this point will be 3, 4, sorry. And then finally we have 10, 10. So these are the coordinates. And then note that for an area, for the shoelace theorem, we also want to divide that by 2. So what happens here is basically on this side, you multiply these numbers, right? And then the 10 wraps around to 0. And for each of the multiplied numbers, you add their product, right? So that will be 20, which is 4 times 5, plus 0, plus 30, plus 0, right? Let's note that down quickly. And then with these, with this sum, you'd subtract these numbers going across and you still multiply them by each other, right? And then this loops across. Actually, no, I'll draw it the other way. This loops across to 4 here. So it'll be 20 plus 0 plus 30 plus 0 minus 0 plus 15 plus 40 plus 40. Then you'll take the absolute value of this and then divide it by 2. So the answer is 20 plus 30. Well, the absolute value of 20 plus 30 minus 15 plus 40 plus 40, which is equal to absolute value of 50 minus 95 over 2, which is actually equal to 45, 2, which is 22, and 1 over 2. So the answer is C. Question 6 then. 5 friends compete in a dart throwing contest. Each one has 2 darts to throw at the same circular target, and each individual scores the sum of the scores in the target regions that are hit. The scores for the target regions are whole numbers 1 through 10. Each throw hits the target in a region with a different value. The scores are Alice has 16 points, Ben has 4 points, Cindy has 7 points, Dave has 11 points, and Ellen has 17 points. Who hits the region worth 6 points? Okay, so basically for this problem, the number of points each person have is just a sum of 2 distinct numbers, and all the numbers are different from each other. So there are 2 approaches to this. Method 1 is basically, let's work backwards, right? The 2 largest is 16 and 17. We know that for Ellen's, the 17 one, it could be 10 or 7, and it could be 9 or 8. For 16, it could be 10 or 6 or other options. Or it could be let's say a different option. But note here that if you try 10 and 6, and then if you try 9 and 8, it will actually work. So then you know that Alice is the one who got 6 points, right? Because it's quite easy to actually guess and check this. It doesn't take that long. The second method is you work from the bottom up, right? Let's look at Ben. Right, the only way to get 4 points is 1 and 3, since 0 doesn't exist and you can't repeat values. This means that, let's look at Cindy now. Cindy has 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4. But the thing is 1 and 3 are both taken. So the only option here is 3, 4 for Cindy. And actually, no, 1 and 3 are taken. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, 2 and 5 are the only options here. This means that, let's look at the numbers left then. Let's look at Dave, who has 11. We know that 11 is 1, 10, 2, 9, like, okay, that's out of the question because 1 is already used. That's also out because 2 is already used. 3, 8, that's already used. 4, 7, that hasn't been used actually. And then 5, 6, but that has been used. So Dave is 4, 7. So the numbers that we have left is just, you can just try with Alice and Ellen, right? Like the numbers we have left other than 1, 3, 2, 5, 4, 7 is we have 6, we have 8, we have 9, and then we have 10. You group 8 and 9 together to get 17, and you group 6 and 10 together to get 16. So then that also gets us Alice. All right, thank you all for listening.